Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Sadhguru Sri Moji Ji ki Jai. Anil says, Namaste everyone. I have a flight to catch in less than 4 hours, but here I am totally undecided. No packing, no hotel booking. Flight is in 4 hours. No packing, no hotel booking. Father, please allow me to come. Whatever is the light, whatever is the lighter option, if there is too much stress about coming here, getting on the flight, hotel where you'll stay, how you'll be taken care of on the weekend, then it's good. We can meet like this on Hangout is also good. You don't have to force yourself into this. Meet me here now. It's enough. If you feel in your heart that it is some resistance, away just the usual mental resistance, then you can, of course, you can come. You're always welcome to come. But in your heart, if there's a feeling that something is not moving, it is not moving towards booking the hotel, not moving towards packing, then best to forget about it. It's okay. What does your heart say?
I don't need to be physically present there. There is no need for it. But Father, the whole life, it has been just like this. Whole life, it has been just like this. Just like this. Not able to decide anything.
Doing your whole life like this, for me it
I
sounds
just
like my
want to
last.
know, in this case, come. I want to ask you now. I want to ask you now, who is going to get up and who is going to decide? I can get up and just go. Just flushing every damn thought. But you say no, surrender. So I'm totally confused. Totally confused. I don't know actually, because the one who is asking is no one. It is just a fictitious entity, Father. I can see. I can easily see. There is nobody to surrender even. I don't own anything. What will I surrender? But
You see that you feel
sorry,
you feel that it is a fictitious entity. You see it is a fictitious entity, and yet you want to know some outcome about this fictitious entity, or when something will change about it, or can you elaborate on that question?
no, Father. There is no need for me to know anything about it. There is absolutely no need to know anything about that actually, which is just fictitious. But within the play, actually, all this is happening.
Yes.
And you being my guru, I abide in what you say. The, the problem is everything is seen, everything is totally seen, and it is not a intellectual or a mental understanding. It is a very, very clear sight. But within the play, you and me are all sitting here, and something is playing out, which is not in my control.
Okay, so slowly let's look at this. There is a fictitious one. There is the one that is the witness of all of this. And the one that says that it is not in my control is the third one, or one of the first two?
It is the same fictitious one, the player.
Yes. So then you said something very beautiful. And if it is true and may it flower in your heart more like this, you say that the Guru, in the play, I abide by what you say. You see? So may these words flower more and more in your heart, because in the play there is no better cheat code. You know this term cheat code? In computer games there is a cheat code. You enter it in the game and then nothing can touch you, nothing can beat you. You see, it's all in the game, all in the play. So in the game of this reality, of this realm, you see, there is no better cheat code than the words of the Guru. You see, what is the prayer we sang just now? Mantra Mulam Guru Vakyam. The utterances from the Guru's mouth are my mantra. You see? If you don't put a but to the Guru's words, if you don't put a and to the Guru's words, sometimes and is a problem also. You see? I feel you know what I mean. So, no but, no and, then you see that everything has been made super easy, like baby food. You see, Cerelac is here for you to eat. You see, but you want to mix other things in it, then what will happen? Not you, we're still talking about the play. You see? Because you said how to play in the play. I abide by the Guru's words. You see, then in the play, you will find it really hard to exhibit suffering. Both cannot be true. I have given you a clue today also. It is not just the but many times it is the and that we feel like we have to insert after what we've heard from the Guru. So then you see that all of this coming and going, whether you're in Bangalore, whether you're in the handout, all of this is irrespective of what is being pointed to by the Guru's words, which is way beyond all this phenomenal peanuts.
My Father, I did not understand. I did not understand because it is not something new. It is not something new. There is a lot of resistance. There is a lot of resistance to go now and Naga guys are there. What will I do over the weekend on 15th? You know,
What?
all those things are there. Just tell me one simple thing. Should I forget everything, pack up, and come, or should I remain here because it is okay with me to stay here also. There's a lot of challenge in coming.
I am saying that you said your testimony was, okay, let me repeat very slowly and I'll try to break it up into points if I can, because I know that there is a sort of a forgetfulness which happens there in the play. So let me try to make it very, very straightforward. You say one day of an identity, which really is not my reality. You see, it is clear. Then two, you say, but in the fictitious play, it still seems to have some power. You see? Second, three. Now, considering that in the fictitious play, it seems to have some power, what is the best thing that I can do? And yourself, the answer also came. Four, the answer is just abide by the Guru's words. You see? Yeah? Now you say, then I added something to that, which is point five, which is, yes, in the play, we are still talking about the play and the seeming sufferer and how to help the seeming sufferer come out of his suffering. You see? The best way is that the answer is contained in your question, which is to abide by the Guru's words without adding a but or a and. Okay? And my important clue for you and for everyone is that when the but stops, sometimes the and starts. See? And the and is as much a representation of the fictitious one as the but is. Then you said, okay, this all this I did not understand. Tell me whether I should come or not. You see? So I am saying that whether you come or not is irrelevant. What is most important is where are your hands and where are your eyes? And this, you see? Yes. That is it then. Then, if they're truly there, your hands and your eyes are both at my master's feet, which is your heart, as you correctly pointed out to, then show me how you suffer. Cannot suffer. You see? You see? So now, whether the coming happens or the physical coming to Bangalore happens or not is not important. All of this hangout, all of coming to physical satsang is all to get you here, where your hands and your eyes are only in your heart. You see? So if that is the true longing, so this is the cheat code for life. You see, this is the cheat code for life. This, if you're blessed with a little bit of devotion, which all of us are, then life with our hands and our eyes only at our master's feet, which is the same thing what you said in the heart, cannot suffer now. Even in the play of trying to suffer, you see, for one who has immersed himself at my master's feet, I would like to see how this play functions. There must be the play of forgetting that plays out sometimes, that this is the most important. And when that play of forgetting happens about what is important and what is not, so it can feel like something else is more important, which is there is a decision to make which is more important, There is an idea that I have to do something which is more important. You see, and the minute it can feel like something is given priority over this simple surrender, simple devotion, then it can feel like it's easy to suffer. See? So we are still talking about the same fictitious entity which is clear to you. And I've given you two pieces of advice. One starting from your own answer, which was, I abide in the Guru's words. So if you abide in the Guru's words, then don't add a but, don't add a and to the Guru's words. See? And then the second part of the answer is, notice where your hands and your eyes are. You know what I mean. I don't mean the physical hands and physical eyes. You know very well what I mean. So if they are at my master's feet, if they are in the divine presence of your heart, which is my master's feet, then you cannot show me, all try as you might, you cannot show me how even in the play you can suffer. Because for my master, the one that you are at the feet of, there is no such conflict about decision making, no such decision to be made about whether to come or not. Does the baby decide, oh, I'm going to fly to Bangalore today or not? What should I do? The infant is born. Is he deciding? No. Where the mother takes him, it goes. These are not just, beautiful, fanciful words. I'm sharing my living experience with you. Guruji picked me up and he has not put me down. Sometimes I pretend, I pose as if I'm doing or deciding something. But that pose is very quickly seen. Yes, either way is good. Whatever you feel. If you find your feet moving towards the airport, come. If you find your feet not moving towards packing or hotel booking or airport, it's completely fine. You see, Gopala is here with me always, mostly every day. He said something very beautiful yesterday. He said, Anantaji, I was in the hangout yesterday. The hangout is so powerful, it's so strong. So there is nothing like that. Whatever this is appearing, whether it is appearing as a hangout or it is appearing as a physical presence, it is directly proportional to what you long for in your heart. This physical medium is not important. You see?
However, uh, I consider uh, Shiva as my father and uh, Mahamaya as my mother. There is absolutely no doubt about it. I'm always in their lap, and there is absolutely no doubt about it. And I feel very happy to be in the lap of my mother and father. But when it comes to so-called the freedom, so then the freedom means the freedom from the ego. Though there is no ego as such, everything is consciousness. I mean, it is not that even if I'm acting as a mind, I'm still the 100% consciousness.
You
Uh,
see? That is why I have to stop you. I have to stop you. Because the clue was, don't put a but and don't put a and.
Father, what is the meaning of hand?
This what you're adding is an and. I say stay at my father's feet. You say I have Shiva as my father, this one is my mother, Mahamaya, I can stay. All that is and.
Then further, who receives the instruction to surrender? Who receives the instruction?
The meditation
If I
happened. I told you not to add the and. So in response to that, the question comes. So, but who? See, so who are we talking about? We started from the beginning. You said, I am clear that I am the steam of all of this fictitious one. But Father, please help this fictitious one. Tell this fictitious one what to do. You see? Now being in Mahamaya's lap, you are confused about who receives the instruction? Or from which place are you confused about it?
from the disciple, from the disciple end, I'm confused.
So any identity which gets in the way, which seems to become the voice of confusion, it seems to take away from the simple purity of abiding in your divine presence. You throw away that identity.
Will this not be an arrogance, Father?
Because the way you might be
I mean,
representing the way you might be representing it might feel like it is arrogance. The true disciple is not being a disciple. You understood what I said? The true disciple is not being a disciple, is not becoming a better disciple. The true disciple is empty of identity, is like the infant child. You see? Is the infant child being an infant child? You see? Therefore, in the same way, the best disciple is one who is empty of all concepts, including disciple. Empty of the concept of being empty of disciple also. I have to tell you this because I know the nature of the mind is such that it will pick up this aspect of it. Forget both the opposites and remain like an innocent child. Now, I don't feel like in all of Advaita Vedanta, there is a concept which you don't know. You see, you know every concept there is to know. You see, but when push comes to shove, when rubber hits the road, what happens to all of these? If I answer to you, who is whether you are or you are awareness, you see, and it just becomes a concept for you, all these concepts get thrown out of the window. Then you have to leave the house and board a flight. All these concepts are gone. You see, so let's have that honesty and say these are not helping. All I can do, because in my expression it is playing like this at this moment, that all that I can do is be this infant child in my mother's lap. I say simply like that, infant child in mother's lap. And you say, ah, yes, 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 there is Shiva, then there's Mahamaya. You see, does the child know all of this? No. This is what I meant by and. You see, it is not a but, it is not countering what the Guru's words are, but it is appending. You see, it feels like something is smart enough to append something. You see? So that can then become also a resistance because it can feel like in the most astounding, most beautiful sounding concepts, you are not finding your freedom from suffering. See? And I'm pointing you so directly to that. And I also said, don't add a and. This is exactly what I meant. See? I know already that you know everything there is to know. But this knowledge is of no value to me right now. I would like to discuss it one day with you. You see, and we will. That day will also come. Because I enjoy it. I enjoy these concepts, you know that. You see, but not at this moment because it is not in service to you. Right now, What life is showing you is your true innocence of a child. It's making a baby out of you. You see, whether your mind agrees or not. So then accept that this is how your life is without the Sadguru's grace, without the Sadguru's words, without his will. Nothing is moving. Come into acceptance of that. All the buts and the ands, just throw them away. All this categorization of the divine presence, you see, between Bhagavan and Guruji and Father, all of this, throw it away. It is not helping you. You might feel like it is helping. It is one divine presence trying to convey to you the same thing in all different expressions. Now, if you make categories and you say, okay, I know this is this, and I know that is that, and I know who my true master is, and I know what, you see, then you're not being a baby, and see what life gives you then. This is getting squeezed out of us. All of us have it, you see, and this is the product in some way, the negative byproduct of spiritual knowledge. You see? Everything in this world of duality has the pros and the cons. So if something is in service to your giving up on every concept and coming back to the innocence of a baby, use that concept. You need only one, the one I have given you. See? Then we meet with integrity. Otherwise, I'm meeting a version of you, which is part of the play. And I'm okay to play. We have unlimited time. Time is nothing but a toy here. You see? But something here still feels your pain when you cry. So it might feel like I'm trying to chop you. Or, sometimes my children have this complaint from me that father is too blunt with me and he just, whatever I say, he just chops. You see, why? Because your tears, they hurt something here, you see. If I did not have that feeling, then I would not. I enjoy it. Talk about all the fancy Advaita concepts. I don't mind listening to it. I have a full library of Advaita concepts. You know this. You see. But will that, when push comes to shove and when the rubber hits the road, will that you see help you? Will that feel like you have the support of the master with you? It's not doing that. In fact, it is being counterproductive. It is getting squeezed out of you. Life is not tolerating any of this from you. I can see it. I wonder whether you see it. It is not tolerating any
I
kind of
see, Father. I see, Father. For quite a long time, I see.
very good, very good. But then see that life doesn't want this. It is squeezing all of this out of you and making you innocent like a baby. And there is time. Time will become your plaything. Don't worry about it. You see, as you become empty of this, empty of, as you flower more and more in your own words, which you know are true, all you have to do is abide in the Master's words. All you have to do is rest in the divine presence without interpretation, judgment, without any arrogance, passions. You see, become empty, empty of all of this. Then we meet as one. Then we laugh at all these funny categorizations and funny things. I also enjoy very much. Sometimes I read what you write and I enjoy myself very much. But I would be happier if all of this was helping you when the rubber was hitting the road. You see, I see that in your case, And again, not to make any concept out of any of this also. In your case, life is operating like it is Kali, you see, and cutting off everything that you can throw to it. All your ideas about what you know. See, it's operating like that. So it's making a baby out of you. You see, crying for milk, like a small baby. You see, it's making. It is happening. You see? So I can see it. So I'm the pediatrician, maybe in this case, and I'm saying what is causing all of this trouble. You see, my dear child, don't need to cry. All you have to do is throw away all of this. And I've been saying this for some time now. You have to, you say, I abide by the Guru's words, just abide by my words. I asked you, what does it mean to have your hand at feet and feet at my master, hands and eyes at my master's feet? You point to your heart. Yes, that is where the master is. It's not in Bangalore. It's not in any other thing. All of these are representations of your divine presence. But do not tolerate any of these childish ideas of specialness. I will hear these words from you. I will hear about Shiva and of Mahamaya from you. When your words smell of them, I will hear them from you as much as you like. But right now, I will not hear them because right now this is not how life is playing with you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, my love. Right on. Okay, Ashtavakra. Okay, we're looking at verse number 20 from chapter 2. The body exists only in imagination, as do heaven and hell, bondage, freedom, fear. Are these my concern? I, who am pure awareness. The body exists only in imagination, as do heaven and hell, bondage, freedom, and fear. Are these my concern? I, who am pure awareness. So this verse, we must look at it from the end. The end is what? That I, who am pure awareness. So yesterday we discovered, no, we said there are three clues to find the self. What are the three clues to find the self? Find that which is the witness of all phenomena. Find that. And if the answer, if the insight is still phenomenal, then you find out who witnesses even that. So if it is a mental image or a concept of something, you find out who witnesses even that. What is the second clue? What is that which remains unchanging? Because if it is coming and going, then it cannot be the reality that we are looking for. You already have the unchanging the changeful seems apparent to us anyway. We already have the changeful. This world, this realm is a realm of change. So we are looking for that stability, of that which is the unchanging. So first clue, find out that which witnesses all things. The one solitary witness of all there is. Second, that which does not come and go. The sage has said, you do not come and go. And third, it must be your direct insight. It must not be something that you've just heard in satsang or read in a book. You must speak then from your direct experience of this. In fact, for most of you, I would say use the word awareness as little as possible. Because the more we use it in a worldly sort of way, it happened once. I rarely get upset with the sangha. But I got a bit upset once when I noticed that everybody is becoming very casual and just making jokes about awareness. Sometimes it's okay, but what happens is that all of these words in satsang, they have a certain potency about them, and if you trivialize them, if you make them run of the mill, then they stop being those pointers, those potent pointers that they are. So it is a sacred word with a sacred pointing, just like the inquiry. So this, you must be very grateful for these pointings. Who am I? Am I aware now? Can I stop being? There comes a time where even all of these become meaningless and irrelevant. But don't be in a rush to proclaim anything yet. Allow them to do the work. I know they are thorns. They are thorns that we are using to remove other thorns. Okay? And ultimately also to be thrown away. But as far as it is helping right now, then don't be in a rush to throw it away, to put it down. Don't become too Advaita too quickly and say, oh, I'm not the doer, so why you ask me to do the inquiry? Inquiry will happen when it has to happen. Those words will smell true one day. The same words can smell completely true one day. You see? But they will smell when all idea of doership is dropped away. And you see this instrument just moving like a wave is moving on the ocean of consciousness. And then those words will have a different fragrance. Then when you say, who is here to even do the inquiry? I find nothing like this here. See, they will carry a different perfume. They will not sound special. So, are these my concern? I, who am pure awareness. So when we find using these clues, you find the self. Then what is this one concerned about? What concern can you have as that awareness? So then, when a concern comes, we are not to pick up an idea of unworthiness or guilt or something. See, because hearing these words, sometimes we can feel like, oh, therefore now a concern should not come. In fact, welcome it. When a concern comes, welcome it. See? Invite it in and say, what is this? What is going on? I'm concerned about money in the bank. Don't push it away. No, no, you can't be concerned. See? Welcome. I'm concerned about money in the bank. Can I see who is this I who has this concern? There was some noise coming, so I had to go and mute. So, just like this. So, don't treat anything as an obstacle now. When you're in satsang, everything becomes a tool for your recognition. Don't come in resistance of anything. Don't come in some sort of a, we were talking some time earlier, don't get into any sort of Advaita denial, you see. Because Advaita also gives you the best tools for the ego to perpetuate itself through resistance, through denial. Don't try to brush things away. The sweeping is happening from under your carpet, the sweeping of all the conditions. See, if you continue to push things back under the carpet, then it will seem like this spiritual journey continues, it perpetuates. So just remain open. Open with a slight welcoming attitude. Then when you see that I truly as a self, remain unconcerned with anything that might be appearing in this play. You see? So when the translator or when Ashtavakra has used the term imagination, it doesn't mean the way we usually understand I'm just imagining it, you see. It's not appearing in the physical realm, I'm just imagining it. He's not saying it like that. He's calling this entire process of dynamic manifestation a manifestation of this power of imagery, create imagery, this power to project appearances. So from there we can understand that the body exists only in imagination, as do heaven and hell. You see, bondage, freedom, fear, are these my concern? So you see that it is only when this dynamic aspect comes into play that all this manifest worlds, manifest emotions, manifest thoughts, manifest body that comes into play. But for awareness, it is just an appearance within its own being, within its own dynamic aspect. I see no differences or separation. Even the multitudes appear as a single formless desert. To what should I cling? I see no differences or separation. Even the multitudes appear as a single formless desert. To what should I cling? Very beautiful, isn't it? And he has emphasized this yesterday also. Seeing one. What is it? Seeing one, I see many. Actually, we are just seeing one, but we are believing that we are seeing multitudes. So, this is a very, very beautiful discovery. I encourage all of you to just notice how this happens. Take anything, take anything, and see if you can just see it without empty of concept, empty of judgment, empty of interpretation. Look at a flower and see how the mind tries to contribute to the seeing, but it can only make some interpretation, some judgment, some desire. Yes. It's also made up of that see. Is it? Just like the entire manifestation is also only awareness. Is it? Just like the finger is only the hand always. It is not separate from. Is it? Now what is the game that consciousness is playing? consciousness is playing the game, that first it decided to pretend as if it is subject to this voice and actually is the one that is affected by this manifest creation in some way, and now it's playing the game of seeing that no, it is beyond the voice's limitation. So what can happen is that although the voice is also consciousness, it is recognizing that what the voice is saying about me is not the truth about what I am. Is this part of my own design? Of course it is. Is it made up of consciousness itself? Of course it is. And yet, consciousness contains both aspects. Isn't it? So if there is truth, if there's a voice of truth like intuition, the Sadguru's words, there's also the opposite of that. If there is a sage, there is also the murderer, the thief. So the manifest creation is both. Both aspects of consciousness. And yet, there is something which is pointing us to the, the play of individuality, which is the voice of the mind, and something which is pointing us to the dropping of this individuality, which is the intuitive.
But looking at the flower, the one appearance, commentary on that card, let's say.
Yes, yes, yes.
So just one thing.
Yes, yes, yes. And that is why I stress so much on the belief aspect of it, not the attention aspect. You see? So he very beautiful what he said. He says even the appearance of this thought construct, energy construct called thoughts, is part of the one appearance in perception, is it? Perceived with attention. There is no separation even in that. You see? But what is this unique power of belief, which makes the pretense come on as if there is a separate entity here. You see? So even that, of course, is part of the play of consciousness itself. But this is the way the play is designed. I say often, isn't it, that most shops in the world are selling you individuality. There are some shops, like the Satsang shop, which is selling you the idea that you are not. All of this is part of whose play? The same divine. So the design of this play. Some are designated as alarm clock, and all they have to do is beep. You see, they can't help it. Knowing fully well that the waking will happen, the waking will happen. It is not that there is confusion about, oh, you should wake up. The alarm clock is not worried about that really. Although sometimes it has to pose as a get up, get up. You see, like that. But it knows the waking will happen and the waking has to happen. My job is to be. The job of that expression seems to become.
When you said that body is an imagination, I know that I am this thing, this person is an imagination. But sometimes I don't know if this is an imagination.
Yes. That's why I wanted to clarify. Good, you asked again, so I can clarify. So there is this awareness which doesn't have imagery. You see, is non-phenomenal. Is it? So that's why I said when the author or the translators use the word imagination, what is implying is not what we usually call imagination. Like we say, a person is an imagined entity, does not even have a phenomenal existence. I call the person the second level illusion. You see? So whether you believe this phenomenal existence to be illusory or not, you will admit that, like you are doing, to say that this person I cannot find. You see? But the appearance of this body is undeniable as an appearance. You see? So what Ashtavakra is saying, or what the translator is using the word imagination to mean that aspect of itself, which projects all this imagery. You see? So all this world of appearances is not the way we usually use the word imagination. We are just imagining that there's a blue cat sitting there. It's not like that. It is apparent in this world of appearances that the body is there. That's why the distinction between reality and appearance I made, which was that the definition of reality, in the case when we're studying like this, is it is unchanging. So then you find that everything in the world is an appearance, because we cannot find anything which is unchanging. At least in that definition, it is an appearance, isn't it? So just keep it at that, because otherwise what will happen is we'll try to see this apparent world as if it is imagination or something, and then that will become another trip. we, go on. We don't need to go on that. Just see that the way the word imagination is used is just to convey that the dynamic aspect, the imagery, phenomenal aspect, see, which includes the body, all the feelings, all our emotions, thoughts, everything. All the content of perception is imagery, the play of this light and sound. See, say,
I'm not very clear, but with the way you explain.
yes, yes. So we'll go very slowly. When we search for this witness, that witnesses all phenomena, we find that it itself is not phenomenal. You have to tell me if that is clear. So this witness, this witnessing awareness, whatever you call it, itself is not phenomenal. Therefore, there is no imagery involved with that. You cannot imagine awareness. See, if you imagine awareness, you have to look for who witnesses even that imagination. See? Just like if I tell you, just think about nothing. See? And this nothing has no color, no shape, no size. See? At best, your mind will give you some black colored space, but not even black it is. See? Not even transparent it is. You cannot imagine. See? So this awareness, is it like that? Or does it have some attribute, some quality? So you find that it has no quality. It is qualityless. No image can be made out of it. You see? Then all that is the image. What is that? Like the body has an image, our thoughts have an image, imagination has an image, memory has an image, sensations have an image. You see? All of this has an image. So what is that? Yes, it is phenomena. So where does it come from? So that is the broader definition of mind, which is that it is the big mind or consciousness itself. When I am, we call that the waking state. Then all this play of all this imagery comes. You see? But I as the self remain imageless, isn't it? So when he's saying now that all of this is imagination, he's talking about that kind of projection of imagery. He's not talking about that imagination which is part of the imagery.
I question myself about the imagination of the body. I have heard it so many times, but it would never feel from that space. It would feel, how can I deny this?
Yes, yes. We're not to get into any of those denials. We're only saying that from the relation to that which is the self, which is non-phenomenal, from the perspective of that self which I am, all of this is the play of imagery, the play of light and sound, time and space. Very good to clarify because oftentimes we hear this and then we try to, we come into some sort of a denial of the appearance of this world. No, the appearance is appearing. No further denial is needed. Just to call it appearance is enough. Appearance means what? That which comes and goes. Therefore, it is not the fundamental reality, that which is unchanging. Where to go? Yes, yes, quickly. Possible? Do we have a season? You have. Does he have the book? Saroji, you have the book? He has it. He has it.
Salute.
I see no differences or separation. Even the multitudes appear as a single formless desert. To what should I cling? So, what the sage is saying is that there is nothing to cling in this world because I am beyond this phenomenal creation. I do not exist in this realm as if I am an object. See, but as long as, that's why I said it's a cheat code, as long as there can be still this belief that I am an object in this world, and for those who have been blessed with at least a little bit of devotional temperament, they have the cheat code that they can hang on to the master. Master means what? Your own divine presence, and it is okay if you're blessed with the beautiful physical embodiment of this divine presence, as all of us are blessed with the presence of Guruji. I am not the body. I do not have a body. I am awareness, not a person. My thirst for life bound me to a seeming of life. Very potent words. I am not the body. I do not have a body. I am awareness, not a person. My thirst for life bound me to a seeming of life. The first part, I am not the body. In fact, not so many believe this, although we have a belief that everyone believes that they are the body. If you really examine it, you will find that mostly it is the second part, that I have a body. You know, when you report about the body, you report like this, isn't it? That my body is right? Or only when this body goes away, I will find some rest. Like we say, rest in peace. The body is gone, now I'll be able to finally rest. What does that convey? That we already see, most of us already see ourselves to be beyond the body. But we still feel like, I have this body. I am an entity, person, which is the owner of this body. Is it? Now that entity is investigated, and we find that actually there is no such entity here. There is only God. Is it? It is not a limited entity. It is the unbound. Is it? It's the divine presence. It is this being itself, which is the owner of all things, not just this body. The voice of separation convinces us that this is your container, you have this container, and this defines your limitation in some way. Most of us have this idea that I'm an entity sitting inside this head or something like that. Then you start to see that no, this does not contain me. I contain it. I contain it as I contain everything. So these become our insights. So, so this is what it means. It does not mean that there is no body, there is no appearance of the body or something like that. Of course, it is appearing, but it is not this. There is no identified personal entity who can say this is my body.
Boundary of the body
Yeah.
also not
Yeah.
clear. Boundary, because the body itself is an instrument of perception.
Yes.
Just the same. The body is the same itself. And
It it works in collaboration in some way with perception, but is also continues to be an object of perception. Isn't it? So then you see that it is because it is an object of perception, both in the visual way as well as the sensational way of the sensations of the body, the boundary of the body. You see, that is why the mind has something to say that this defines your boundary. This is what you are. And that is what conditioning stems from, you see, with our parents, with our mind. It is like this. You are that. Move your hand. Go here, walk here. Oh, you fell down. All of these things have been picked up as very the root conditioning. And then building on top of this all the others. I'm with this, I'm handsome, I'm this, I'm that, all the. Then based on that, we have I'm husband, I'm wife, and all of this is built on that. If we see that this is just a visual perception and there is a sensational perception, all of that is experienced in which container? the container of my existence, you see, which also contains the visual, which is seemingly coming at a sense of space. But where is that space contained? Also within the same. You see? The time and space are also experienced within what space? Unless you exist, is there an existence of time or space from your insight, you have to say. If you speak from an inference, then you'll say, of course, while I'm sleeping, the world just continues. And I agree. But from your experience, if you see, from your insight, if you see, that right now these words, although they might be seeming to come from outside of you, they are just contained within you. That space of existence, that being, that consciousness. Then we see that. Then we see that the true meaning of Advaita is not this idea that, oh, we are one because, you see, uh, because of some reason, because we all experience same pains and frustrations. We are not one because of that. We are literally one. It is not based on an inference of something. That because this. Without an inference, we are one. Without the because, already we are one. And that is our experience also. Yes. See, and that is our experience. But we have been taught by this mind and through conditioning seemingly coming from the world that it is not that way, that you are something limited within this boundary and everything else is outside of you, therefore it is not you. In the limitless ocean of myself, the winds of the mind boil the myriad waves of the world, is somewhat what we are saying. But when the wind subsides, in the limitless ocean, the arc of personhood is swallowed up, along with the universe it carries. In the limitless ocean of myself, the winds of the mind boil the myriad waves of the world. You see? But when the wind subsides, in the limitless ocean, the arc of personhood is swallowed up, along with the universe that it carries. In what way? Personhood means the boundary dissolves. You don't make this distinction that I am this. If you don't have a distinction of your limitation, it defines you in some way, then you will find that worship dissolves. I am shaking my head over there. Just as this one, I am shaking my hands over here. This very naturally. Don't even be in a rush to infer like that or to transfer it. In your seeing, it is that. Once you just do the simple seeing, that the boundaries that I experience of sensation do not contain me. It is I which contain them. And the I which contains them, where does it stop? Then you'll see that automatically you'll see that it doesn't stop. It is beyond all of this. So then you're not so tightly attached to this body and what is happening. It is allowed, it is given more space to.
Someone feels that the eye is not even physically there.
Yes. Physically, I is not physically here in the sense the only phenomenal representation of I is I am. Then all of that is just a play of light on that screen of an eye. There is no. That's why I say that your position is not in this universe. I'm pointing you to that which is beyond time and space, which is yourself. The position of time and space is within you, within your being. And and these are not the things that you should inquire into. You just keep inquiring into who am I. Then all of these will become your fun insights. But sometimes it's good to share these also because sometimes very sticky things are there. Like this body contained in the body can be a very sticky thing, and we can keep inquiring. And even at the end of the inquiry, we might come to the conclusion: yes, there is awareness contained within this body. See? The mind takes hold of our recognition and paints it in this way. That's why it will sometimes shake you out of this idea, is it, that you are contained in this body or in this universe. Is it? Why? Because the question I face many times is, yes, I find that I am awareness, but how do I know that she is awareness? So that is like missing the point in some way, because we got a mental interpretation of the recognition.
So I was just getting there.
Okay.
I don't know why this question is coming, but then I feel like how when you say that she is one,
Yes.
experiencing, then sometimes it's like how
Can that sometimes, where it doesn't feel like it is one, can that happen without any concept?
she's not one.
Yeah, when it feels like she's not one. Actually, she was one till she said those words, and after she
No.
said,
No.
in any way, whatever the trigger might be,
Yes, like anything. Sometimes it is nothing.
but is it possible without having a concept? Do we need a concept to get to our oneness, or do we need concept to presume a trueness?
Like at this moment, I feel like I am so blank
Yes.
that everything, all the experiences have been dropped, and I have no understanding.
Okay, very good.
And I'm not holding on to anything that okay, this is how I am.
Yes.
So now everything feels new.
Yes.
Now when you're saying it, it feels like how? How is it happening?
How could it ever happen?
How did this happen? And how do I even express it? That we are one. How do I even say it?
You don't have to express it at all. These these discoveries which you're making, you will find like mostly there's no template, but mostly these you will not find so easy to share, because your discovery is that of something which is beyond this phenomenal realm, and words are designed to describe phenomenal things. It's only after great marination in this discovery that some will have this energy or even inclination to open their mouth and say words about it. Most who come to the discovery of the self just hardly ever speak about it, actually, because it is so indescribable. So you never know how it plays out, and which expression are the words given, which expression they are not given. It's all part of the play of consciousness. So these words will not come from any intent that I intend to explain to somebody else what my discovery is. You will find yourself again and again at a loss. When you try to explain to your friends, family, and those you care about what is happening with you, you try to, and they're like, what is it? So you notice that this in your presence, I don't even have this expectation, but some might start to experience something differently, and that is enough. If you try to explain it with some intention that this one I must clarify to them, because you find yourself running out of words, being so inarticulate. In the limitless ocean of myself. Okay, go ahead, please. And how wonderful it is, the limitless ocean of myself. Waves of beings arise, collide, play for a time, then disappear, as is their nature. How wonderful it is, in the limitless ocean of myself. Waves of beings arise, collide, play for a time, then disappear, as is their nature. So when we start to just witness all of this play, it's like so beautiful this was. So that's chapter 2. See, one tip I want to give you before we close for today. No words that you hear, even the words in Satsang, should contribute to your having a reference point or a position because of that. See? What that means is that sometimes even the greatest of pointing, I am consciousness, I am that in which the world is contained. And very quickly we can make a visual or something out of that and start to define our position as if we are something. See? All of these words are meant just to shake away all ideas that we have about ourselves. So don't even take on awareness as a position. Don't even take on freedom as a position. Don't take bondage as a position. Don't take person as a position. Don't take seeker as a position. Don't take consciousness as a position. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Don't even take nothing as a position. You see? So sometimes our nothing becomes like this big, black, empty space. Even that is not your position. And I know that for a while it can seem a bit shaky to not have a position. You can feel like I'm falling or I'm dying. But I'm here for that. You see? Nothing will happen. One of my first satsangs when I was in Thiru, I saw with Guruji is this girl, she came and said, Mujiji, I feel like my head is going to explode. See, what do? I feel like my head is going to explode. And he said, I've never seen a head exploding. I'd like to see that. What happens when we invite like that, then we see that it is nothing. It turns out to be just a tiny something. And before it came out, it just felt like, oh, it's so strong, my head is. So don't have a fear, don't have any fear about these things. Sometimes the mind will play with the tiniest of sensations and tell you that, oh, they're so big, you're drowning in them, you don't know what to do. So that is what the benefit of having a living master in our life is that. Because he can tell you that all these things happen here also, but actually they have no power. Just stay with it, stay with satsang. So don't make any position out of anything that you've heard. See, either in the world or in satsang, all concepts can be dropped safely, and you will see that life continues in its own beautiful way. The mind not agree, the mind might not agree it is beautiful. Don't wait for the mind certificate or the mind's consent. This is surrender, this is openness. Just let everything come and go. Otherwise, what can happen is that the most well-intended pointing, even a pointing that you are not the doer, you are not the sufferer, or even these most well-intended pointing can translate into still a limited position about ourselves. Oh, I, as the body mind, am not the doer. I'm like an inert flower pot or something. That is not the discovery in satsang. So don't take on any position, don't buy any offers from the mind to make something out of you, whatever that something might be. If it is coming with the offer that you will become the most enlightened sage, don't buy this offer. When it comes and says, come and say this, then people will see what is the extent of your spiritual accomplishment. No, the best pointing is forget about it. empty of concepts, we discover our true fullness. It is independent of any phenomenal fullness. We will get back to the Ram chanting tomorrow onwards. Thank you all so much for being in Satsang today. Sadhguru Sri Muji Ji ki Jai.
Sadhguru Shri Ananta Ji ki Jai.
I see Gopala is liking the hangout a lot these days.